Hello students, in this session we are going to talk about Ohm's law. Firstly, we'll give the statement of Ohm's law, then we will be writing the formula. After that, we will deduce the formula for Ohm's law, right? So starting with this Ohm's law, when the current is flowing through a conductor, and the potential difference is applied across a conducting wire, then the current flowing through that conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across the conducting wire, right? So mathematically, how we can write? Let us consider a wire of length L. Let us consider a wire of length having potential difference across its terminal is V. Having potential difference across the terminals of the wire is V. How the difference is V? Let us say at this particular point the potential is 10 volts and at the another end the potential is 0 volt. So the difference is 10 volt. So according to Ohm's law, the current flowing through this conductor, let it be I, that is proportional to the potential difference across this wire, right? So we can write a proportionality constant K into V, right? From here we can find out the ratio of V by I. This implies V by I equal to 1 upon K, and this constant value, reciprocal of the constant value, is called as the R. That's the resistance of the conductor. This is what? The resistance of the conductor. Right, and from here we can get V equal to R into I. That is what? The Ohm's law. This is stated as Ohm's law. Right. So like this we can define the Ohm's law. Ohm's law, V equal to IR, where V is the potential difference across the terminal of the wire, R is the resistance of the wire, and I is the current flowing through this wire, right? Now next we will talk about the deduction of Ohm's law. I am considering here one conducting wire of length L in which I current is flowing and the potential difference across the wire is V, right? So because the electrons are flowing inside this conductor, when we apply the potential, so there will be certain electric field, and due to that the drifting of the electrons take place, right? The drifting of the electron take place. So we can write the drift velocity of the electron, that is given by Vd is given by electronic charge multiplied by electric field divided by mass of electron into tau, that is the relaxation time, right? So this is first equation. After that we can write the formula between voltage, length and electric field. So as we know, the electric field is given by, that is actually the potential gradient, right? Potential gradient. So V by L, where V is the voltage that is potential difference across this wire, L is the length of this wire, and E is the electric field. This is equation 2, right? Now next we can write the formula for current in terms of drift velocity, right? So current flowing through this conductor, I equal to A NE VG, A NE VG. This is equation 3rd. So we can put the value of electric field in equation 1st from the equation 2nd. The VD is equal to E into V divided by ME into L into tau, right? Now we can apply this E value in equation 3rd. We can apply the VD value in equation 3rd. After applying the VD value, we have formula. After rearranging this, we can write V is equal to ME divided by N E square tau into L by A multiplied by I, right? We are taking these values another side, right? So there will be reciprocal of this value. So V equal to ME, that is the mass of electron, divided by N, number of electron, is the electronic charge E square, and tau is the relaxation time, L is the length of conductor, and A is the area of cross section of the conductor, right? So since this value is constant one, each and every term used in this one will be constant for a particular conductor. So we can take this value as a constant where this ME, mass of electron, divided by N E square tau L by A, that is the constant and denoted by capital R and called as resistance of the conductor. This is called resistance of the conductor or resistance of the wire taken, right? So we can apply this R value in this particular equation. So V equal to R into I, right? And this is what? The Ohm's law. This is what? The Ohm's law, which has been proved, right? So hopefully this will be clear to all of you. Now after Ohm's law, we will talk about the VI curve, voltage current curve. So according to Ohm's law, we know that V is equal to IR, where R is the resistance, that is the constant for a particular wire. So I am considering here one wire of length L and having resistance R, and the cross-sectional area of this particular wire is A, right? Cross-sectional area of this wire is A. So for this particular wire, we can calculate the voltage values for different values of current, right? So since we can see here V is directly proportional to I, that means this equation is representing the equation of a straight line passing through origin, right? Equation of a straight line passing through origin. So if we draw the graph between the voltage and current, so that will be the straight line passing through origin, right? Straight line passing through origin. So the graph between voltage and current will be a straight line passing through origin. And what will be the slope of this particular graph? This is theta. So slope is what? Tan theta. That is equal to, just look at here. What is slope? Y quantity divided by x-axis quantity. So y quantity is V, x-axis quantity is I. So V by I, from this equation we can find V by I is equal to R. That is what? The slope of the curve, right? So if voltage current curve is given for a particular conductor. So by calculating its slope, we can know the resistance of the given conductor. We can find out the resistance of the given conductor, right? So now let us see whether this curve is always a straight line for each and every conductor. No, this curve is not always a straight line for each and every conductor, right? Only those conductors which follow the Ohm's law, for that this curve will be a straight line, right? So the conductors which follow the Ohm's law are called as ohmic conductors. Conductors which follow, I am just writing here ohmic conductors. And the conductors which do not follow this Ohm's law are called as non-ohmic conductors. Right? So for Ohm's law, this V is directly proportional to I, right? V is directly proportional to I, and for this non-ohmic conductor, B is not directly proportional to I. That may be proportional to I square, I cube, or I power 1, I root, I power 1 by 3, anything other than this I, right? So those conductors will be called as non-ohmic conductors, right? So if we draw the VI curve for non-ohmic conductors, so that will be something like this or like this. Anything other than this straight line. So this is for first one, this is for first one, ohmic conductors, and these are for second one, non-ohmic conductors. So hopefully this ohmic and non-ohmic conductor will be clear to all of you, and VI curve will be clear.